Well, it's that time once again to talk about the news that is being ignored in Queens. So, let's get into what we need to discuss. I actually want to get into this story that somebody told me, um, but basically somebody in my neighborhood told me to look into the story. Let's just keep it as that. I'm not gonna say who because I respect people's privacy. So here we go. And this happened in my neighborhood. Yes, happened in March. And I completely missed this one. So, thank goodness this person who lives in my neighborhood, who we speak online sometimes, told me about this. So here we go. Four men who ordered a car service in my neighborhood last month drove off with the driver's vehicle according to the 107 precinct. So, let's see what they are saying. This happened at 65-23 183rd Street. So, literally not too far from my house. Unbelievable. So this happened on Monday, March 27th. Four suspects called the car service to be picked up in front of 65-23 183rd Street in Fresh Meadows. A 35-year-old driver arrived at the location, and the men forcibly removed him from his vehicle before driving off with his car in an unknown direction. The driver was not injured during the robbery, and the vehicle so far has not been found. Yes, and, again, from this person who lives in my neighborhood, he updated me and told me it's still no update from the 107, so let's get into more information here. We do have a surveillance video. Good. So let's see. An unidentified business establishment in the area caught a surveillance video. All four suspects were wearing masks, making them very difficult to identify, according to the NYPD Crime Stoppers unit. One of the suspects was wearing a gray hooded sweatshirt, and the other three wore black hooded sweatshirts and black pants. So it's just so sad that I have to see, again, what's going on in my community, given that, we all know what's coming up on Thursday. Is it Thursday? Well, it's sometime this week. The incident in front of the preschool where that teenage girl was shot and paralyzed. Alright? So, yeah, I think I may do a special video about the crime stats and compare it to that week. Just to see if anything has changed in my neighborhood in a year. So let's just look up this address. We're quickly going to look it up here. So I know exactly where this is. Yep, I know exactly where this is. So let's see where this is. So, happened right here. Now, this is kind of suspicious, if you ask me. And I have more questions than answers about why would the suspects order a car service. Okay, this is your random street in Fresh Meadows here, alright? And this is from August of 2022. And look at this. Somebody has a McMansion here. And yet the online trolls claim that I have a McMansion. Do your research. All I'm just going to say is my house was renovated 20 years ago. So let's just leave it as that. But look at this. I mean, why here? Why out of all random places here in Fresh Meadows? And not too far from my house. For crying out loud. And yeah, and they can see my address. But the point is, I'm disturbed, guys. I'm just so disturbed by this. Just like how we had the drag racers on 73rd Avenue the other night. On 420. Alright? They were literally coming from Utopia Parkway the other night. Like right here. They raced all the way down to Francis Lewis Boulevard. Literally right after midnight on 420. So, yeah. And I also want to mention, a lady was actually stabbed here a couple of weeks ago. 199th Street and 73rd. So, as I said, guys, my neighborhood's not doing so well as usual. And, I'm really at my point with this community. I really, really am at my breaking point, guys. Okay, and then we have another incident, and Laura Uhl actually had something on her Facebook page about this. 3 men sought in mugging of senior in Kew Gardens Hills last week. So when did this happen? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. This happened in the confines of the 107 Precinct. Yep. 141st Street and 78th Avenue. So this happened last Wednesday. Right, 2 Wednesdays ago, excuse me. Right. One of the assailants pulled out a blunt object and began chasing the victim, causing him to trip and fall to the ground when he was set upon by his attackers, who demanded his watch, ring, and bracelet. Again, folks, you gotta be careful displaying expensive stuff, because this is what attracts the criminals. Especially in this day and age with inflation. The brutes then forcibly removed his bracelet before retaining to a getaway car driven by a third man. The dark-colored SUV was last seen driving away from the scene southbound on Main Street towards the entrance ramp for the Grand Central Parkway heading west. The victim sustained minor injuries and was treated at the scene by EMS paramedics. Alright, so according to Crime Stoppers, we do have a good idea of this SUV here. Might be able to get an idea. Could be an old school... This a Mitsubishi? I haven't seen a Mitsubishi in years. No way this is a Mitsubishi. It's definitely registered in New York, because I can tell it has the front sticker on the front. Okay. One person was between 5'8" and 5'10", tall with a slim build and wearing a black mask, brown hooded sweatshirt, gray vest, dark jeans, and gray and white sneakers. The second suspect can be seen clutching the weapon as he ran to the vehicle. He is 5'10" to 6 feet, tall with a slim build, and he was last seen wearing a balaclava, sunglasses, a black jacket, and black pants. Oh, this is a Mitsubishi! Oh, boy! Oh, boy, and we actually have the license plate. So I can actually go on the How's My Driving website to see if this vehicle has any prior traffic violations. Because, guys, I want to mention, Jack Nierberg from Passengers United told me to actually research this stuff when it comes to serious situations like this on the How's My Driving website. It has damage to its rear bumper. Okay, so let's find out if this vehicle has any prior traffic violations. Shame, 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 shame on you. Oh boy, guys, it gets good. It gets good. Sorry about that little cut off in the display there, but guys, look at this. You are not going to believe this. 68 school zone speed camera violations that began from July of last year to April of this year, guys. Wow. I am just shocked. And in total, 85 violations. So, guys, if you got an issue with a vehicle in New York City, type in the following website: howsmydrivingny.nyc. And if you got an issue with someone and you want to look up their driving record, this is how you can hold people accountable now. All right? So, this is very important to have, because from what Jack Nierberg told me, this is part of the Freedom of Information Act, which is, by the way, a federal law. Oh, and I want to see if there are any bus lane violations. I'm just curious about the bus lane violations. Here we go. Yes, here we go. September 15th, 2022. Bus lane violation, Manhattan at West 181st Street and Wadsworth Avenue in Washington Heights. Let's see if I can zoom this out for y'all. Let's see. Try to zoom this out so you can get an idea here. Okay, here we go. Now you all can see it. Alright, so I zoomed out so you all can see what I'm talking about here. Okay. Astoria, August 23rd, 2023, 33rd and Broadway. Yep, I know where that is. Oh, and then look at this. Another violation in Queens. My dad's birthday last year. October 8th, 2022. Rockaway Boulevard and 140th Street. No parking in Chelsea, 311 West 17th Street. I'm just trying to see if anything else is in Manhattan or Queens. Because apparently this vehicle looks like it's from Brooklyn. Okay, here we go. Cross Bay Boulevard, 159th Avenue. School zone speed camera violation. School zone speed camera violation. FDR Drive in Houston Street. Yep, so this vehicle's definitely in a lot of trouble. There's no question. So I'm telling you, this vehicle's going to get impounded if they catch these guys. No question. And then we got something in Ozone Park, I think. Woodhaven Boulevard and Firmerville Avenue. And then we got something here, 111th Ave and 198th Street. Oh, and then it gets good! Traffic violation in Jamaica Estates on February 26th. 188th Street and 87th Drive. Wow. Wow, folks. I'm telling you. If these aren't career criminals that Tish James supports, our wonderful district attorney who's behind the bail reform plan too, then I don't know what to say at this point. Now let's get to the more serious stuff here. Bus lane violation March 3rd in Brooklyn. Bus violation in Brooklyn on March 17th. Failure to stop at a red light February 24th in Brooklyn. Failure to stop at a red light in Brooklyn on January 4th. Failure to stop a red light on December 4th of 2022. Okay, here we go. And last but not least, bump, 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 bump. Last traffic violation noted for the record was back on Monday, April 10th in Brooklyn. So in total, this vehicle owes $5,226.53 in traffic violations. Paid in total of $1,240.66. Grand total fined $6,467.85. 7 lookups. Wow. And now we go to the most recent crime, doing over the speed limit, because this vehicle was accused of going over the 25. Yep. I'm sorry I spent so much time on this, but I'm telling you, there's a good chance now, because of the Freedom of Information Act, don't be surprised if average citizens start looking up this stuff, because it's going to get to that point, folks, because people are just fed up with the crime in the state. And I think, if I'm correct, Nassau County also does have a similar thing, because my dad did get a traffic violation in 2020 for going against the red turn light. Alright, so let me see here. I'm looking it up. Yes, 141st Street and 78th Avenue. So let's look this up. I have an idea where this is. 148th Street. Yeah, I know where this is. 148th Street, 148th Street, 148th Street. Yeah, this is definitely somewhere around here. I know where it is. 148th Street. Just pulling it up. Alright, this is definitely 148th Street. Somewhere around here. I'm just trying to see where it is. Yeah. Oh, here it is. Found it. Here it is. 148th Street. So it should be coming up. 148th and 141st Street. Okay, my bad, folks. 141st Street. Found it. This is where it happened. I mean, It's not cool that you literally assaulted a elderly man in an Orthodox Jewish neighborhood. I mean, this is an Orthodox Jewish neighborhood. Alright? But believe me, 107's going to take this seriously because, you know, I'm glad Officer Jan's doing the best he can at the moment. But I'm telling you, I mean, with the staffing issues at NYPD, it's only getting worse. Okay, next and last story we're going to read before we take a look briefly at Laura Uhl, because there is some other stuff we're going to get into. So there was a fire this morning in Queens, and 1010 Wins did not cover this. Actually, no, this happened yesterday. Alright. 133-07 95th Avenue, and this happened at 6:30 in the morning yesterday. First responders reported heavy smoke coming from the rear of the home's second floor. More than 100 firefighters operated four hose lines to knock down the main body of the blaze, smoke from which caused damage to nearby. Right, we already... Oh, okay, the fire was at 133-08. Okay. Thankfully, the good news is no injuries were reported. Fire was placed under control at 7:30 a.m., so... Didn't look that bad, but listen, it could be worse. Okay, let's get into this incident. Homicide reported in Ridgewood. Fresh Pond Road reporting a male shot dead. This is by Elliott Avenue in Ridgewood. Yep. Q38 bus goes over there. EMS is working on the scene. Shell casings have been recovered. According to local police, this was a drive-by shooting. Yep. Yeah, and trust me, for that incident in Kew Gardens, I'm going to have to use this as one of my thumbnails. Oh, and then look at this. We got a carjacking in Richmond Hill. This happened yesterday morning, 5:30 a.m. A victim was carjacked in Richmond Hill. The incident was reported on Lefferts Boulevard and 87th Avenue, and the suspect male, black, displayed a weapon, pushed out the victim from his vehicle, then took off with the vehicle towards the Van Wyck Expressway. Yep. So, I mean, this is what goes on in Queens, and again, we're constantly ignored. You know, I'm telling you, I'm just starting to notice this pattern where the media is starting to act like there's other closed-minded people, too, in the tri-state area that put us off. Not just Long Island, but it's the Hudson Valley, it's New Jersey. Oh, we don't care about Queens. We don't care about what Andy's randomness has to go through. Well, this is what I have to go through, guys. This is what I constantly have to go to. It's disturbing. And you know, I don't want to hear about Eric Adams blabbing on about, oh, I don't like meat, so I'm going to take your meat away. No more steak for you. No more chicken. I mean, this guy is such a disgrace, Eric Adams. You know, like Curtis Lee says, he's the swagger man without a plan. And the mayor, since he's... Listen, folks. I'm just going to be honest. We have not had a mayor of New York City visit Fresh Meadows since John Lindsay. Alright, you can look this up. It's true. It's true. It's true information, folks. So here's CBS 2 for an example. I mean, you honestly think that, you know, they're going to talk about stuff going on in Queens? No, they're not. I mean, it's just, you know, it's just disturbing on another level. Alright? We're ignored. Let's just face it. We are ignored. Oh, and I'm sure Piney might bring this up today. So, if you folks want to know what's going on over the border, just follow Pine Power LI. So let's watch this briefly.
Into a building in Nassau County. Jim Smith is over the scene in Chopper 2.
Police in Nassau County are investigating an accident in which a vehicle crashed into a building. This is in Roslyn, the intersection of Northern Boulevard and Glen Cove Road. Vehicle crashing through the window of a jewelry store.
Wait a minute, isn't this the same jewelry store that got robbed last year?
You can see the rear of the vehicle sticking out of the building. It's happened before 6 o'clock this morning. At this time, no injuries have been reported. Nassau County Police are on the scene investigating the cause of the accident. Jim Smith, CBS.
Yep. And I just briefly want to check News 12's website. I'm just curious. I know I don't want to talk about Long Island that much, but I'm telling you, I mean, my neighbors over the border are dealing with the same crime crisis, and they're completely putting it off right now. So you know who you are if you're my real friends in Long Island, because y'all are taking the crime seriously right now. Because what we're dealing with in Queens, it's coming over the border. It's coming over the border. So I'm sorry to be a little aggressive there, but... Alright, well at least they're covering some stuff in Long Island, but... Okay. So no mention about the accident in Roslyn. Yep, typical Altice. And then look at this. The Stop and Shop that was shot 2 years ago in West Hempstead, they're finally holding the trial for the former worker who fired the gun. I mean, really. So what happened with SCAT? Because apparently this involved SCAT. Suffolk County Transit. Let's see here. Yep, nothing about the accident. Unbelievable, News 12. Oh, and of course, if it happened on the statue, we're going to cover it. Oh boy, and then look at this. The Walmart in East Meadow got hit. Yep. There you go. Car knocked out power in Baldwin. So again, Pine Power LI is right. They clearly are News 12 statue. Let me see this. Well, alright, take two, because apparently the video was lagging. So I fixed my OBS. Let's see if it plays now.
This hot-pot man is being accused of throwing rocks at the windshield of two buses in Suffolk. This happened last week in the town of Smithtown. Police say on April 16th, Edward Wisniewski threw a rock at a bus that was parked on Southern Boulevard in Wisconsin. They say the driver was inside the bus and the rock cracked the windshield. And then, less than an hour later, the 19-year-old allegedly cracked the windshield and broke a glass partition of a Suffolk County bus that was driving on Route 111 in Village of the Branch. They say both rocks were thrown from a moving car. Wisniewski was arrested for both incidents a week later.
You do realize that the charges should be upgraded to federal, but that's a whole nother story. Merrick Garland, you may want to pay attention to that. So anyhow, let's watch this one. Yeah, I'm telling you, another bad incident in the middle of the island.
This morning, police are searching for two suspects who police say entered a East Meadow Walmart Saturday evening and got away with more than $4,000 worth of items. Detectives say the two snatched 9 Apple Watches, 3 breast pumps, and 2 PlayStation headphones. Police say an employee started fighting with the suspects to stop them, but they freed themselves and got away. If you have any information, police want to hear from you this morning.
Yep, so again, just a disgrace. And of course, the next story is in Lawrence, just because. Alright, guys, I think I'm done for today. I honestly think I am done here. Literally right when my Amazon speaker gets triggered. Okay, guys, so I'm done here. I think that this is again another example of how our media works again. And we got to keep calling them out. Right? It's not just New York 1. You know, now I'm starting to realize that this is starting to become a bigger picture now. So, we got to take our media back. Because we're literally at that point, folks. So, I'm done talking for today. I know I posted 4 videos on this channel, but I'm just glad I'm done going on what I need to go on today, folks. So that's it.